Hey everybody, here for Love and Hip Hop ATL, Season 5, Episode 4. If you hear snoring in the background, that's my daughter. She's taking a nap. Let's get into it. So it continues from where it left off last week with Tommy and Tierra basically about to come to blows again over Scrap. And, they both thought that Scrap was coming there to tell the other, hey, this is my woman, and, this is what it is, and you need to leave her alone. But no, Scrap basically came there to tell him, hey, I may be going away for a while. I need for y'all to get along, and I need for y'all to get it together. And I can understand each woman's frustration, because it's like now he's playing the game. Now he wants them to get along and care about his well-being when he doesn't care about theirs. So Tommy is like, listen, I'm going to bow out gracefully. Good luck with your baby mama BS and all this other craziness. I'm done. So then she left. Tierra was basically like, listen, if you don't get your ish together, you will not see your son. And that's that. So she left it at that. Scrap basically made the situation go from bad to worse, because both the ladies is pissed off at him now. So moving right along, Carly is doing her Playboy shoot. And, life is there to support her. Life is her new man. And he's there to support her. And she's like, he's been at the set with her. He flew out to LA to see her. And he's been on the set with her because that's one of the ways that they could stay in touch and spend time together. So he's basically saying he's proud of her, how she's maturing and she's not as messy. And she's just working on being a businesswoman. A businesswoman, and staying out of trouble. So he's proud of her. And Carly starts talking, he starts talking about, you need to leave the ratchets alone in Atlanta and whatnot. And she's like, well, I forgot how the conversation got to Jocelyn, but she started bringing up her friendship with Jocelyn, how she's like, she done called Jocelyn ignored her. She done reached out so many times to Jocelyn, and Jocelyn just doesn't care to reach back, so she's just gonna leave it alone. And you can tell, like, she's still hurt by the whole friendship or whatever being falling out with Jocelyn. So, life is like, well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the only person that she should need. I'm her man, I'm here for her, and that's all that matters. So she's like, well, we just gotta make time for each other. We gotta do a lot of fun stuff like this. So I think she was naked up under her robe, and he like, listen, your titties sitting nice. You got them flashed out. You got them out for Playboy. You need to pull them out for a real. And I'm like, whoa, okay, moving on. So now we get to Jocelyn's grand entrance, because that's what we've been waiting for since the first episode. And they returned to Atlanta, and Jocelyn's like, she returned there because the movie that they're supposed to film that they were doing in LA, they're gonna do in Atlanta because it's better for taxes or something like that. So her and Stevie, they're together at a jewelry store, and he's buying her jewelry. Sorry, my notes is right here, so I'm trying to position it right so that I can read it. Yeah, so he's buying her jewelry basically to keep her happy. And Jocelyn is like, listen, I came back to LA for fun and to take care of my business, but I also came back for some revenge for every one of these little messy hoes. And I'm like, okay, so she must be talking about, well, her and Mimi cool. So she must be talking about Carly. She must be talking about Rashida. She must be talking about all these chicks that she had beef with before she left LA. So she's like, well, I'm gonna invite everybody to my video launch party for church, because the video's doing good. I've been handling my business, blah blah blah. And Stevie is like, listen, just leave the ratchets alone and handle your business. She said, I am gonna handle my business, but I got something for that. I'm like, okay, Jocelyn, you just come back with guns a-blazing. Okay. So now Rashida is throwing a staff meeting with her her family. They all work at Prest, and she's just setting rules that she don't want them eating on the floors. And her stepdaughter Kelsey is there, but she's not there. She's there, but she's really not there. Nah. She was late as always, and Kelsey said that she has a son and she has to drop him off, and then she has to hurry to work, so that's why she's always late. So Kirk arrives in the staff meeting, and Rashida wasn't expecting him. And she's like, well, the staff meeting, I got it. And he's like, yeah, well, I have to check on how the business is going and whatnot. So Rashida's like, well, you should be worried about D-Lo's business and whatnot. He's like, I am. I just signed a new artist named Samantha. So that kind of offended Kelsey a little bit, because she's like, I don't plan on being at press folding clothes and all of that all the time. That's not what I want to do. I send my dad music all the time. I send him, mixtapes, all of that, and he doesn't want to sign me. She was like, instead of him signing all these whack mediocre artists, he needs to sign me, his daughter. I want to carry the Frost Empire. I want to carry the legacy. And I'm like, well, Kelsey is pretty, and I'm pretty sure she is a much better artist than the artist that Kirk have been signing. Ashley Nicole. But yeah, so I'm like, get a girl a chance. Like, she wants to work, put her to work. Let her do something that she wants to do. She doesn't want to fold clothes for the rest of her life. My goodness. So Dime and Mimi meet up. Dime invited Mimi out to clear the air about the whole situation with Tierra. And Mimi is like, okay, me and Jocelyn are cool, believe it or not. And Dime is basically over Jocelyn. She felt like Jocelyn is always dragging her name through the mud, claiming how she didn't know her when she did know her. So she's like, I don't need somebody, fake. I don't need somebody fake around me. I only like realness. So Dime is like, well, if you could forgive Jocelyn, the Puerto Rican peasant, I'm sorry, these nicknames they have for each other be killing me. But she was like, if you could forgive Jocelyn, I'm pretty sure you could forgive Tierra. So once Tierra walked in, Mimi was like, oh, hell no, I'm going. I can't do this. But, Don was like, no, hear her out. She's a sweet girl. So Tierra explains herself. Tierra was like, she didn't even know she was coming there for a fight. She was coming there to make friends. And she didn't even know. She was like, the other girl that was there, Tommy, she had admitted that her and Scrap been messing around. So she was like, I didn't come there on the defense. I came there because she was being disrespectful to me about me being a mom and whatnot. So that's where it started. She was like, I didn't mean to ruin the party, because I know that was a special night for you and your boo. So, Mimi forgave her, because in season 1, Mimi was in the same situation with Stevie and Jocelyn. So she's like, she can relate. And she's like, I've been on that, I've been the chick that's on the other side. I've been the baby mama that's on the other side and had to fight a side chick because the man don't want to keep her situation in check. So Mimi basically gives her a second chance for now. But Mimi is very empathetic, and she's like, listen, maybe you need to work it out with him, and maybe you need to work it out with his mother. And Don was like, yeah, you need to talk to KK. That's where y'all need to come to some type of common ground and find some type of respect for each other, because it's only gonna make the situation worse. So Tierra was like, I don't know, it seems almost impossible, but she's like, I'll do it if she agrees to do it, and maybe that'll help in keeping us together as a family unit, because how it is right now, she hates my guts, and it's already toxic. I don't want to make it worse than it already is. So they're telling her, yeah, you need to speak to KK. That's who you need to speak to. So Jocelyn is getting a portrait made, I guess, to unveil at her video release party. And she's sitting there like, yes, I'm getting a portrait made because I'm the Puerto Rican princess and I'm on my throne and I want all these bitches to bow down. And I'm like, okay, Jocelyn, you right on. So Tommy comes in and she discusses the whole situation with Scrap and Tierra, and she's telling Jocelyn about Scrap and Tierra, and Jocelyn already knows Tommy. They know each other. It's a fresh friendship. It's not like they known each other for years. So Tommy basically tells Jocelyn about how Carly invited Tierra. How Carly and Dom invited Tierra to Mimi's party or whatever. And I think this is when she told him that Mimi has a girlfriend or something like that. I forgot. But she tells him how Carly and Dom invited Tierra to the party, and they got into a fight because of Scrap and whatnot. So Tierra just feels like, I mean, not Tierra, Tommy just feels like, you know, the whole situation with Scrap is just too much. She wants to leave it alone. And Jocelyn is like, well, Stevie met with Scrap, and Scrap basically told him the same thing. So Jocelyn was like, well, listen, this whole situation with Dom, like, you know, she's a nobody. She wants attention because Tommy told her that Carly and Dom were basically like, yeah, Jocelyn is a fake friend. She's phony. All she does is talk about people behind their back, and so on and so forth. And Jocelyn is like, they just want attention. You know, that's what it is. They're mad at me and they want attention. So, you know, she told Tommy, she was like, well, this tea I'm about to spill is like, you know, major, so you need to sit back and relax and you need to listen. So she finally tells Tommy that Scrap has a whole nother woman that he was with besides Tommy and Tierra, and it's somebody else that's been holding him down and whatnot. So Tommy is shocked, like she feels like she was played. So Jocelyn is like, yeah, don't make a big deal about it, just, you know, take what I told you and hold on to it. So I don't think Tommy knew what to do with that information, and I'm like, oh Lord, more drama. So Carly, I think, Carly is still in LA. And K Michelle comes and visits her store in LA. So they're catching up, and you know, K Michelle is fresh from coming back from London to do her album, and they started talking about a couple of the girls like Rashida. So K Michelle was like, well, how Rashida's store doing? And Carly was like, girl, I don't know, I haven't seen it yet. So K Michelle is like, you know what? I honestly believe that Rashida is a voodoo witch who has a K Michelle bobblehead doll that she just continues to poke at night, every night. Like, that's how I feel like she is. And I'm like, hey, just leave it alone. And I mean, I can understand why K Michelle feels the way she feels, because Rashida still didn't apologize to K Michelle after the whole thing about Memphis Hits turned out to be true. So then they started talking about Mimi, and then she was like, well, the old Mimi, we could have been friends, but this new Mimi seems to be thirsty and desperate. And I don't know why she didn't listen to me when I was telling her that Nico was no good for her. She got upset with me. She hit me with flowers, all kinds of stuff. So now she want to go from Nico to a woman because Nico jacked her up that bad. She was like, well, I told you so. And I'm like, sometimes people need to see it for themselves as opposed to, you know, them shooting a messenger. Because once you tell somebody about somebody and they don't believe you, they get upset with you. So Carly started discussing Jocelyn, and she's, you know, standing there trying not to cry, and she's like emotional about how the friendship ended. And she's like, I reached out to Jocelyn never called me back, she hung up on me. And K Michelle's like, well, maybe you just need to give her time, because that incident that you and Jocelyn had probably wasn't a reflection of you. It was a reflection of her, because she said she feels like Jocelyn is at a place in her life where she's trying to find inner peace within herself. So maybe that was a day. Oh, what happened? Maybe that was a day that she felt like she was struggling or whatever to find that inner peace. So, girl, where your pacifier? So that's why she went off on Carly like that. Yeah. A mother's job is never done. I'm going to continue. So, K Michelle just advises her, give it time. You know, Jocelyn just needs time, and she has to go on her time and not your time. So Carly is like, you know, I'll consider it. I'll take that in consideration. So now Tierra and Scrap meet up, and Tierra continues to stand her ground, and she's like, listen, I'd like to have a peaceful sit down with KK. If we can do that, then you can see your son. If not, then I have to keep him away from the BS you and your family have. So Scrap is like, okay, well, whatever it'll take for me to see my son and to get this family unit together, because there's a possibility I could be going to jail for a long time, and I need for y'all to stick together while this is going on. So, Scrappy is at his his modeling photo shoot for his modeling company, and he's handling business or whatever. So Rashida arrives and she comes to talk to Scrap about clearing the air with the whole thing with Kirk and how Scrappy felt hurt or whatever. So Rashida is like, listen, you know, I know you felt a certain kind of way because we went to LA as opposed to coming to help you with your case, but we didn't mean to at all. It was a business obligation. We had to take care of business. We didn't mean to leave you high and dry. So Scrappy is like, well, my beef isn't really with you, Rashida. It's with Kirk. You know, he basically left me for dead. And I'm like, Scrappy, you got some abandonment issues because you swear somebody always leaving you for dead. You are a grown-ass man. Grow up. And it's like, you sitting up here, you always looking for all these people to coddle you and tell you, oh, woo, 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 Scrappy, woo, 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 it's okay. No, it's not. Like, stop. So, you know, they got over that. Rashida just wants to make amends, so she invites Scrappy to, yes. Now you gonna come on camera and bother me? So she invites Scrappy to D-Lo's showcase and hopes that he comes. So now we get to Scrap and KK. Scrap is stressed out. You know, KK is like, well, you know, what's going on? He's like, I'm stressed out with this whole Tommy and Tierra thing. And KK is like, listen, Tierra is using King as a pawn. So she says in her confessional that, you know, King is 4 years old and KK has never been to one of his birthday parties because Tierra is, you know, refusing to invite her. So she's like, that's ridiculous and I should be involved in his life. That's my grandchild. But at the same time, you can't constantly disrespect her, Karen, and expect for her to want to be around you. Like, that's not how it works. Regardless as to how you feel about Tierra, your grandchild is involved, and that's your grandchild's mother. So you need to respect her on some level. You ain't gotta like the girl, but you have to respect her as his mother. So he's asking her, oh, well, would you have a sit down with Tierra so we can get all of this out in the open and finally clear the air? And she's like, absolutely not. So Scrap got pissed off and he stormed off. And then Karen mumbled under her breath, this stupid ass. I'm like, no, you're the stupid one because you're sitting up here making the situation worse for your son when he's just trying to make the situation better and make everybody happy. So now we get to the last scene, and it's Jocelyn and Carly. They finally meet up, and Carly's just trying to figure out the friendship, and she's trying to tell Jocelyn how hurt she is, and Jocelyn is just not here for it, and she's pretending like she don't even know what happened. So Jocelyn is like, listen, I heard you were going around throwing dirt on my name, saying how I'm a fake friend and all of this. And Carly was like, no, this is what I said. I don't know what's going on with our friendship. I don't know what's going on with Jocelyn. But anytime people try to throw dirt on your name, I've had your back 100%. And I'm like, right. Because Carly did have Jocelyn's back when Benzino was talking about Jocelyn to Fly Dan Tony and all these other people. So Jocelyn was like, yeah, well, I'm not with that fake ish. And she's like, well, I got some tea. And if you don't want to be exposed, you might want to keep your mouth shut. If you keep gossiping about me, then I'm going to gossip about you. So Carly is like, well, what is it? What is it? I have nothing to hide. Not a motherfucking thing. And I'm like, Carly, your wrinkles are showing. You need to chill out. But, that was basically the end of the episode. I'm mad, you know, of course they had to leave us on a cliffhanger because I want to know what Jocelyn got on Carly. Like, is this something that we don't already know? Is it Carly's real age? I looked Carly up. According to, it was some website I went to, Carly is 37 years old. I don't know how true that is, but that's what the website said. But if that's the tea that Jocelyn got, I don't know, but I guess we'll find out next week. But thank you guys for watching. It was an okay episode. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and I'll see you guys next video. Later.